Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's session of Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. My name is Sarah Bravado, and I will be your host for today. And if this is your first time joining Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants, it's all about bringing science, adventure, and conservation to classrooms across America and the world. So today we have the team above the Barba boat with us. So we're beaming in live to Norway with Gabe here, and we are going to be learning more about researching and collecting data on orcas aboard the 37-foot sailing vessel Barba. And over a series of multiple expeditions to the Arctic Svalbard aboard their small sailboat, the Barba has been pushing the limits of our knowledge of climate change and Arctic wildlife with tools like drones and underwater cameras to film wildlife like orcas, walruses, humpback whales, sperm whales, and pods of pilot whales. They're also using a state-of-the-art remote-operated vehicle named Leonard, which they use to dive beneath the Arctic ice to unveil the mysterious world under the ice and on the ocean floor. So Barba's aim is to document the realities of climate change, the wildlife, all while conducting scientific research and communicating their findings to the public through media. So Gabe, thanks for joining us today. I'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been really exciting. A little bit about myself. I am actually currently a student. I'm 19 years old and I go to Duke University, and I've had the pleasure of being on board Barba for the past 6 days actually, and it's been quite incredible. So first I want to show a little bit about what we've been seeing on this boat. It's a really cool storytelling boat.
I remember the first time I jumped in, I was scared to death. You know that it has the power to mangle you in a second, but it chooses not to, and that fascinates me. My name is Andreas B. Heide. I'm a sailor, adventurer, and a marine biologist from Norway. This is my third season in northern Norway, where I spend the winter with my boat Barba. It's harsh and it's also tremendously beautiful. There is no sign of people. To me, it's nature at its very best. Our goal for this season is to make a documentary about orcas and whales in the wild. What makes the interaction with orcas so special is that you know that it's the apex predator of the sea. It has a tremendous power. Often we have to observe them from distance, and at some point they are relaxed and you can approach them, and that's when you get them playful. They're so gentle yet so fast, and they're so powerful yet so very calm and peaceful. To me, these whales and the era they're in, they're kind of the pinnacle of interacting with nature. Once you've made eye contact with an orca, there is no turning back. It's a moment you never forget.
I actually have some sound that we can play from the boat that we captured a couple days ago, if that sounds good.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds great.
Okay, so one of the coolest things that we've seen, or that we get to do on the boat, is there's so many fancy tools. And one of those tools is actually a hydrophone. So if you haven't heard of a hydrophone, it's like an underwater microphone, and you can kind of hear everything that's going on under the ocean. So a couple of days ago, we were at anchor and we were like, I wonder if there's anything in the water. And so we dropped the hydrophone down and we could hear so much that we just could not believe. And we could actually put on these headphones and listen to the music of the ocean, as we called it. But I'm going to give you guys a listen and let me know what you think. So if you can see this graph on my computer, which is the sounds that you're going to be hearing. It's kind of a cool visualization. Let me make sure you can hear it. So, as you heard, there's so many different things that are coming from the ocean that she can hear constantly. And one of those things is actually orcas. And we could actually see the different lines of the different orca sounds. It's actually amazing. So what we think the sounds were that they were eating around a fishing boat, because we could hear a small sound of fishing. But since you can't hear any tail slaps, we think that they're just eating herring, which are these little small fish that they love to snack on. So orcas are super intelligent animals, and they also love eating as much as humans do. So they eat the herring, and then they spit out the bones and the head and the tail. They actually have quite good manners, I would say. But let's take you guys, while we're on the topic of the boats, let's see if we can do a tour. We'll do a couple introductions, because I'm doing storytelling on the boats for youth, but we have a lot of cool people on the boat that I'm happy to and excited to introduce you guys to. So take the camera over here. This is Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben Rawlins. I'm from Wales in the UK, and I'm a writer working on a book about the changes to the ocean. And I'm here with Gabe and the rest of the team. And I've had a chance to dive in the water with orcas and humpback whales as well.
And Ben, can you tell them a little bit about your experience in the water?
Sure. So we got very close to, well, first of all, through the binoculars, we spy the spray coming up from the blows of the whales. And you can tell the difference between the orcas and the humpback whales based on the size of the spray, but also on the shape of the back of the animal. So the orca has a huge dorsal fin, the humpback has a much smoother, wider, big grey back. And then when we motored towards them, get quite close, get on the dry suit, get on the snorkel, and then Andreas, who's the captain of the boat, and I jumped in just as the humpbacks were coming past. So the humpbacks were going beneath us, and then the orcas were going beside us, and we could see the orcas are black and white, so they're very identifiable under the water, and could see them sliding past into the deep about 10 meters away.
And Ben, were you scared at all when you were getting in the water?
Yes, because these are very big animals. But as my 10-year-old daughter reminded me, orcas are dolphins, and dolphins are very friendly. So although they're called killer whales sometimes, they're actually very, very friendly, and they've never had any record of hurting humans at all.
Thank you so much, Ben. And we also have Lily here. Lily, can you introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi guys, I'm Lily and I'm from Ireland and I work in green finance, and I've joined the boat for a week with the crew here.
So Lily, what have you been up to while on Barba?
So I also got to get in the water, and I was really lucky that I got to get quite close to 2 humpback whales. I was also very terrified because they're huge. They're the size of a bus, if you can believe that. And more than even you can see them, you can hear them breathing. So they go all around the water. So it was exhilarating. It was a little scary, but we were safe and it was amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lily. So now, let's see if we can actually play a couple of videos from our last couple of days. This is day 2 of sailing the Arctic to raise awareness around marine conservation. Gearing up to get ready to go dive in this freezing cold water. There's an orca right there. We're dinging. Gotta get to the orcas quicker. It's about to jump in the water. Orca, it's freezing cold. We saw an orca. There's one that came right at me, and I was like, oh my god. It's going pretty fast. It's a little chilly. I don't know how the orcas don't get cold. I've not an ice cube yet. The trusty sailboat right here. Thank you. So. A couple of pretty awesome encounters with the orcas. So much more playful than I was expecting. Kind of just warmed my heart. They are the sweetest creatures. To see what we can find next. See, there's a humpback whale right behind me. I think it's going right under the boat. It's right there. Stay tuned for the next adventure. So that's one video, and then the one I made yesterday. Today's day 3 of sailing the Arctic to raise awareness around conservation, and today's goal is to survive a storm. We're a little bit worried because the wind's actually going to pick up this evening for the heat of the storm. We're going to go do a little bit of shopping, and that's going to help us on tomorrow's expedition. May not even be able to get our boat to the port town. It's going to get dark in about an hour, so we're going to have to figure this out in pitch black. I feel like that's pretty good. There's so much snow here. Okay, don't tell anyone, but making a snowball. We're in. It's arguably the best time of the night. Dinner time!
Hello.
This is getting cold.
Yeah, I'm eating already. Yeah.
No one takes any risks at work. We just do another circle and try again until we make it.
We are anchored up in the bay. Today's been a success. Cannot wait to show you guys what we have for tomorrow. Stay tuned. So as you can see, it's always an exciting day on the boat, and every day is quite different. And next up, I really want to show you guys, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the cabin just so you can see around the boat. And then we're going to go check out an ROV, which is pretty much an underwater unmanned submarine. It kind of rovers around, and that's how we can see what happens deep in the fjords, which is, it can be hundreds and hundreds of meters deep. So without further ado, this is the tour of the boat. Here, let me see, I can get even wider. There we go. So this is where I've been sitting for the last little bit, and sometimes I'm working on videos. And this is where we have dinner. Say hi, guys. Hi. And then this is our galley, aka the kitchen, and the bathroom, which is actually where we are hanging up our dry suits and our wet suits from when we go swimming. And these are our little sleeping quarters. They're super cozy. And let's hop up on the boat. I think Captain Andreas is ready for us.
Hello, everyone. So welcome on board Barba boats. I'm Andreas Heide from Norway, marine biologist and the captain of Barba, working with this tremendous team here. So what I'll show you here in the cockpit is some of the gear we use to get up close with the Orcas. So to start with, we use either wetsuits or dry suits. So this is a wetsuit that you put on. It's quite cold, but it's you're fast in the water. And then we also use dry suits, which keeps you warm and dry, but you're a bit slower in the water, as you might know. Additionally, we have scuba gear here, which allows us to breathe underwater. You can breathe through this. Let's see. A bit like Star Wars, Darth Vader. And then this is a super cool, some call it a toy, I call it a tool. It's a work tool. So it's an underwater scooter that you attach to your harness. And then you can adjust the speed here. And as you click, the propeller will drag you through the water. So it's very cool. As Gabriel can agree with, because he's been in the water as well. This is some of the tools we use. Next, we're going to show you the thermal binoculars.
Yeah.
So, Peter, can you pass us the thermal binoculars?
Yes.
So this is called thermal binoculars, and what these does is to allow us to see in the dark. So in the north, in the winter, north of the Arctic Circle, it's very dark most of the time. But with these binoculars, we can see in the dark. And with us, we have Peter.
Hi, I'm Peter from Sweden. I'm going to try to show you if we can spot something here. I just had a huge pod, like 30 orcas, pass by, but they're quite far away now, so you might not be able to see them, but I'll give it a try.
And we can see what he's looking at right through this camera.
I can see them in the binoculars, but they're just on the horizon, quite far away. So
I will look around here, Peter, and show us what it looks like.
yeah. So there you can see the shoreline is warmer.
It's amazing. It captures all the different temperatures of the water, and it can make it look like it's light out and make it super easy to find things in the dark, which, since we only get a couple hours of sunlight during the daytime, is super helpful here on the boat.
still see them there, the far distance, but yeah, they're swimming away. There was a huge pond, 30 orcas at least, swimming south in the fjord here. I came through shoes.
So there's orcas in the distance. It's really hard for me to show you guys, but it is amazing and a testament to how important it is to have good tools here on the boat. Okay, next up we're gonna boot up and we're gonna head to see the ROV, which I was talking about a little bit earlier. I cannot wait to show you guys this. It is honestly the coolest thing that they have on the boats here. So if we're ready, as you can see, we're anchored up next to our friend's boat, and as you can tell, it's been a very snowy last couple of days, so their boat is covered in snow. Whoa. It's the dead of winter. Hello, guys.
Hey,
Mind if we come on board?
come on in.
Whoa, what are we looking at?
Welcome on board, Gabriel.
What's your name?
My name is Antoine. Hi,
Antoine,
guys.
what are you working on right now?
Right now, we're just checking the seafloor with the ROV, and everything is good and healthy. And maybe we can be lucky and Orca coming by because they are very curious. So now, right now, this is pretty good news. We are looking to a pretty healthy seafloor with algae, seashell, some fish are coming by. So good inspection from now.
And how are you working this RV? What is it?
Uh, Now, this ROV is made for filmmakers, cinematography. We can go up to 500 meter depth and with a cinema camera inside. And we are going to make some exploration and filming wildlife without disturbing them. And we can go way deeper than diver and with no risk. So what you see right now is just snow robots on the
Wow.
waters with a cinema camera and 8 engines. And some light, of course, because with no light. So I'm piloting here from the surface.
What's the coolest thing that you've seen from the ROV?
Hard. I was in the middle of more than 70 white-tailed sharks in Lion Island.
70 sharks.
Yeah, more than 70 sharks. Yeah.
Oh my
They were
goodness.
very angry. Sometimes beats a lot. So the ROV a little bit. It was very cool. And with Andreas and Barba, where we were in Svalbard, and we were very close to walrus, and the motor came very, very, very close to the ROV. And you cannot dive with walrus; it's very dangerous. But with the ROV, it was like okay, and the walrus came very, very close, say hi, and left. So, and the last thing I will say, very exciting, is when you are going very deep, like more than 300 or 400 meters, because less than 20% of the depth zone in the ocean are known. So you know you are the first there. You have the astronaut feeling. You look at the very bottom of the ocean and you know, okay, what I will find: new species, wreck, legends. It's very exciting to do this kind of exploration.
That's amazing. How long have you had this ROV?
3 years from now, it will be. It was a prototype. It was the first of its kind. And 1 year of like testing, breaking it, no manual. You have to invite everything. And since 2 years from now, we are working a lot for documentary, movie, in a theater, TV show, and in expedition, like we with Barba or like we are doing now.
And was there anything that you did as a kid that helped inspire what you do now?
I don't know if I can tell it in live because I was like a very geek, a lot of video gaming. But what's happened with the video gaming? I have a very good dexterity in my hands, so I can piloting the ROV and do my setting of the camera at the same time. So no, the exploration came like this.
Wow. What inspired you to do this work?
I was working as a cameraman and directors, and I was called on a catamaran called Energy Observer prototype hydrogen boat to do all around the world. and I had to be there for 2 weeks to help, and I quit after 3 years. I quit. I get out of the boat after 3 years. And then when you go around the world with all the marine life, all the sea, everything, you cannot do anything else after.
Wow. Well, this has been amazing. I'm so happy that we've been able to learn and see what the ROV can do. I'd encourage you guys to look at different orca videos that they have, and look at walruses. I think one of my favorite videos is in Svalbard, which he was talking about. So in Svalbard, there's tons of walruses that have these like huge tusks. And it's super dangerous to get in the water with them. So there's very little video of them swimming. But with this ROV, they were able to go right up to this pack of walruses. And the walruses were super curious. They're like, what is this floating thing swimming towards us? So they actually went and said hi. And you have a shot right in front of the camera of walruses just coming with their tusks and inspecting the ROV. Truly, truly incredible stuff.
Almost there.
So I also want to introduce Sebastian. He is right here. Sebastian, can you say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Sebastian Strand, marine biologist from Marine Mind, and I'm here with Antoine now to explore the seafloor. It gives us a fantastic opportunity going on expeditions like this to learn more about the fascinating life in the ocean. So I'm very excited to be part of this.
Wow. And what do you normally do on the boat?
So right now I am cable operator. We've got a optical fiber going out to the drone that allows Antoine to see this live view as we're exploring the bottom of the ocean. So right now I am simply tending this cable to make sure that this drone here is safe and we don't get any snags. It's advanced equipment and we've got to take good care of it. So here it comes up to the surface for us.
Say hi. Hello.
That's the drone right there, right in the water behind the boat.
Coming back from the depths.
Wow. What's your favorite part of your job?
Oh, I've always been very curious about the oceans, and I think that my favorite thing is to get a view down there, whether it be diving or like now going to sea through an ROV and potentially going really deep, but getting eyes on down deep in the ocean that is so teeming with life, I find just incredibly fascinating.
Wow, that's really cool. What would you say to your 10-year-old self if you had to say something to them?
Oh, I loved being near the ocean as a kid, so I'd tell myself keep at it and keep exploring, because there is so much to find. You think you've gotten to know your local ecosystem, and there is still so much more to discover. I'm 28 now, and I've been working this for a good time, but I'm still discovering things that are brand new to me to this day. So keep your eyes open, and sometimes look for the small details. They're what may fascinate you the most.
You guys are hearing the best advice here on the boat. I think it's very important to keep exploring, keep following your passions. It's been an amazing journey here on the boat, and you really never know what's possible until you try. So keep following your passions and doing things that you think are cool. And is there anything else you want to show them?
Now you can show the dinghy. If you want to show them the dinghy, the little craft we use.
Yeah. So as you saw in the videos, this is the dinghy that we use to get up to the orcas and the whales quicker.
And then also the Starlink antenna that we use for internet. The white dish here.
Yeah. This is how we can connect to you guys live from the Arctic.
And in the background we have the ROV.
And the ROV all the way. Still making its way back to the boat. Great, should we see if we have any questions?
Yeah, let's go inside for questions.
Okay.
Awesome, Gabe. It's been great to see everything that your team has going on there. I think this is such a very interactive Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants event. So thanks for facilitating that.
Of course, my pleasure.
Awesome. Well, we have 2 classrooms joining us today, and we have a few more joining us on YouTube. So those on YouTube, feel free to drop any questions in the chat. We're looking at them here. So why don't we bring one of the classrooms up? Mr. Steltman's class. Do you guys have questions over there? You see them getting ready, and we'll bring them in soon.
Reporting.
What was the biggest whale you've ever seen, or orca?
So the biggest whale I've seen is the blue whale, and that's the biggest animal that ever lived. The one we saw was a small one, so it was only 22 meters long, or 60 feet, 66 feet.
60 feet.
So that's much longer than a bus. Very impressive.
We'll measure that out today. That's very cool. Thank you.
Okay, and then we have Green Acres Academy. I see your camera's not on, but if you guys want to unmute your mic, we can come around for questions.
How fast can the RAV go?
Well, I think Antoine would be best to answer that question, but about 2 knots or 4 kilometers an hour. And in miles, how much would that be, Gabriel?
It's the coolest thing is actually not the speed. It's the fact that it can stay down for, what is it, like 8 hours at a time?
8 hours.
So it's much longer than if I were diving underwater. I'd get cold, I'd run out of air. But the ROV is a robot, and as long as you're comfortable on the surface to keep operating it, you can keep diving. So that's, I think, my favorite thing about it.
Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you. So we'll jump to Mr. Steltman's class again. If there's another question here.
Here's some Ira. Come in. There you go.
Does the water scooter get affected by the warmth of the water?
That's a very good question, and the answer is yes. So when the water is cold, the battery gets colder and less efficient. So we lose 30% efficiency when it's cold. So that's a brilliant question. Thank you.
One question that we have is, are orcas endangered?
At the time being, at least in Norway, they are not in danger. We see the population is on the rise. Although long term, we worry about pollutants in the water, plastic pollutants and organic pollutants. So that's toxins that comes from human overconsumption and mismanagement of resources. And that's why we all need to be careful to recycle and take good care of the environment, because it's going to end up in the ocean sooner or later and affect the orcas that we have around us. So we want to keep them healthy, and that requires that we all do something about it.
That's a good reminder. Another question we have is, does the activity of sea life change when the daylight changes?
So lots of good questions today. I'm really impressed. So what we see here, so the reason we have all these whales in this area is because we have herring, which is a small pelagic fish, a small silvery fish that comes in the fjord to overwinter. And daytime, the herring stays very deep, 100 meters or deeper, 300 feet. And then, but at night, it comes up to 30 to 40 meters. So that's when we see most of the whale activity is at night, because then it's easier to catch the herring when it's closer to the surface. They don't have to dive so deep. So that's the main difference we see.
Amazing. Are animals usually curious about the ROV when you guys have that in the water?
Yeah, we find some whales can be young, especially young whales can be curious about. It's a bit like humans. It's the young kids that are most curious and excited, and we see that with the young whales as well. So they can come up and check it out. And then sharks, they're attracted by the light on the ROV. So they do get affected by the ROV. And just like us, they are curious, like what is this thing? And this is something they've never seen before in their long life in the ocean. And the same applies for us. When Gabriel and I were in the water a few days back, we had 4 young orcas that came up to us and played around us. So that's, yeah, quite something.
What an experience. Okay, let's jump to another classroom. Mr. Steltman, if you guys want to come forward.
Go for it, Zaid.
Can orcas eat sharks or not?
I can answer that. Yeah. So it really depends on the pod of orcas. And so what does that mean? So there's orcas actually in every different ocean around the world. And all the different orcas have different diets. So they adapt to what the local food looks like. So some orcas, like the orcas here, want to eat herring. Sometimes the orcas are looking more so for sunfish or lots of different creatures. Sometimes it's seals, but in some cases, like in the south tip of Africa, those orcas really like to take out like the livers of great white sharks, actually, because they enjoy the taste of it. So it really depends on the orca species. They actually speak different languages. It's super cool, like how it's just like with humans, like it's like there's
Not be
different
talking.
and
I
stuff.
probably shouldn't even be on our computers. We should be watching.
So I hope that answers your question. That's a good question.
Lots of good questions today,
Yeah.
Gabriel.
Let's jump to Green Acres Academy one more time. If you all want to unmute your mic.
What's your favorite part about your job? Okay.
I think we might just be losing connection for a second here. We'll wait for their camera to come back on. But it's been interesting to hear a little bit more about how all of the orcas
So I'm studying different like environments.
It's coming and going a little bit. I'm sure they'll come back on in a little. But thanks for bringing in so many great questions. It's been great to learn from this team. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's bring you back in. Do you guys remember the question that was asked?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So the question was, what is your favorite part of your job? And for me, I would say the best part, well, firstly, I'm a student, so I'm studying to learn more about the ocean and to be able to share the stories of what's happening to our ocean. So I'm doing lots of different storytelling missions. And my favorite part is getting to learn about these unique ecosystems and share my experiences so I can help inspire people to take more action and to really care about these oceans and these species, because there's so much that we don't get access to. So getting to bridge that gap and teach people about orcas and whales in the Arctic is so fun and amazing. So I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Perfect. Looks like we're.
Do we have any more questions?
We have a few questions that have come through. Are you able to ID the different orcas that your team come across?
Yes, so just like zebras, there are no two identical zebras. They're all different in the pattern. And we see the same with orcas. They all have different patches on them. So by taking photos, you can actually identify the individual orcas, and you can track them over time. So that means a photo that was taken 40 years ago can help you re-identify the orca many years later. And scientists use this to tell something about where the orcas are and what they are doing. And it's a fantastic tool, and it's something everyone can help with. So if you see an orca, take a good photo of its dorsal fin and then send it to scientists, and they can help identify the orca and learn more about their biology.
Fantastic. And how's it going with the food on board?
Well, I think it's going pretty great. So this morning we had, so we baked bread on the boat, which is rather nice, I think. And then we also have some cod for dinner, locally caught cod. So we're doing pretty well on the food side of things. We're not starving, we're gaining weight.
We all get to take our turn making different meals, and everyone that's come on board has had done a pretty good job of making yummy food. So I've been pretty thankful about that.
Can't complain about a bunch of fresh fish. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining and thanks for sharing us and bringing us to the Arctic today. This was a super exciting hangout. Is there any place that the students can get more information on your project or follow along on your journey?
Yes, they can follow, they can go to www.barba.no, barba.no. And also they can follow Gabriel on Instagram. What's your tag?
My tag is Gabriel_MIRMAN, just like in my name on the screen. And they should follow the Barba Instagram, which is
Barba Boat.
Barba Boat, for some really cool videos.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for all of the classrooms that have brought in their questions and participated. So we'll catch you on the next one.
Of course, thank you guys for having us.
Thank you, everyone.